Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having an amazing day. We're taking another look here at Ethereum Classic, see what's going on with this classic coin, and hopefully understand best practice and big picture. I've definitely covered this a handful of times in the past, so I got a lot of community members and just general subscribers that are asking for me to cover this again, asking if it's coming back alive. And we're going to look at some key level supports, resistances, and make sure we understand the whole 9 yards. If you are new to the channel though, keep this in mind. Not a financial advisor. I do love teaching people how to trade, and I hope you can learn something here today. So my goal and my passion is to help you become a better trader. I have a website, CryptoCache.tech, because if you'd like to consider becoming a community member, I send out signals for every trade that I take. I provide you with best practice in my trading academy, and of course, help you become a better trader with our community. We have roundtable discussions as well. Those are awesome. Those are actually on Tuesdays. That being said, taking a look here at Ethereum Classic. Big picture, it looks much better than most coins right now. In other words, it's actually broken above its previous resistance level right here at about 22.27. So if you can see that kind of that Fibonacci retracement line at about just say 22.50 is a round number. That is essentially a point of contention. The fact that it's above that now is important because it's kind of telling us that it's trying to break free and clear of that resistance level. A lot of coins are doing that. Bitcoin's trying to do the same thing right now. And if it does, then we should expect a continuation of the upside for a lot of coins. Now, Ethereum Classic, let's go ahead and take a look at some history here just really quick, kind of give us some perspective, because it does look like there's a potential resistance level, previous resistance, which is now basically considered to be as a support, right there at about $17. So if we kind of scroll in and zoom here, it's really close to, so the $16 to $17 mark is pretty much right where the price action is going to continue to maintain itself. All right. So that being said, that should be the lowest point which we'll see. And the main reason why is based on the fact that this is a previous resistance level for Ethereum Classic. You can kind of see this price action right here at the $17 mark. It spent a lot of time getting rejected there. And once it eventually broke, it continued, of course, to make pretty significant gains, of course. But generally speaking, at this point, that was an area that we need to kind of be aware of, which is now reiterating itself as a support. We like to see that. Another thing we got to understand too is that its most recent support level right here, again, I'm going to go with the daily candlestick closes, is right here at about $24. So $24 is also an area that we want to pay attention to. And what do you know? The price wicked up to 24 and got rejected. That is another area that we want to pay attention and understand that we could see some resistance at that level. But we are up over the 20-day set moving average, which is extremely helpful, and we're trending closer to 50 on the RSI. But note, 50 on the RSI is concurrent with this resistance level at $24. So until we can get a candlestick close above 24, we may not see that significant breakout, if that makes sense. We've already kind of broken out. For lack of better terms, we're above 22.50, but generally speaking, we need to continue the price action higher in order to get through some of those key level resistances. Taking a look at the 4 hour though, if we look at the moving averages, a lot of good coins right now are doing this. They're above the 20 and the 50-day SMA. It's extremely important to have that on the 4 hour. Obviously, above the 200 would be optimal, but we can kind of bridge that gap when we get there later. Taking a look at the RSI though, we're up over 70, so a bit on the overextended side. Explains the reason why we had that pullback. We probably had a standard deviation retraction. In other words, the price came up outside that standard deviation line based on the volume weighted average price and pushed the price action down lower. That is a very common characteristic for coins that push up this hard, this fast. So just bear in mind that we are overextended on the 4 hour, so a likelihood of a pullback is there. But what should happen is the price will pull back to 22.50 and continue upwards. That's what should happen. And the main reason why is because it broke through that resistance level, and now it can use that as a support. So hypothetically, the price retraces, we should expect a bounce at 22.50. That's what should happen. Again, cryptocurrency has a tendency of doing some strange things. If Bitcoin, for example, decides it wants to tank down to 29,000 in the next couple of hours, which is possible, I think less likely, but possible, Ethereum Classic will do something similar. We're going to see 22.50 not hold. All right, so just bear that in mind. Looking at the 1 hour though, here's something we've got to acknowledge. At TD sequential, we're at a 9, so the likelihood of a pullback is fairly high, just based on the fact that we were overextended for the last 9 hours straight. Okay, so just bear that in, put that in the forefront of your mind, like, hey, all right, we're probably at the immediate highest point. If it were to continue much higher from here, it'll probably retrace harder, so we don't want that. But we're up above the cloud, of course, no question there. The last thing we want to kind of take a look at would be the standard deviation on the volume weighted average price. And the volume weighted average price is a fantastic tool to use in the 1 to 15 minute time frame. It's a smaller time frame because it resets every 24 hours. That being said, what it does, it takes a 24-hour period of volume and expresses it as a price. So right now the price should be $22.50. What do you know? It's pretty much right there. Well, $22.45. It's effectively right there at that support level. And what's great about that is it works as a support. So the price were to come back down, we should likely see a bounce off the volume weighted average price and continue higher. That's when you know the bulls are in control. All right, so that's essentially what we're looking for. But when it comes to standard deviation, you can see the price cut a little too far outside of its norm, came up here, traveled too far as well, and had to come back down. It's a pretty common thing here, but ultimately what you want to look for is volume weighted average price kind of just trending right above the price action, that standard deviation line, to help you understand that you're not overextended. Okay, but again, we've done this we've been on the upside for 9 hours straight. It has to rest and relax. No good coin will go in a straight line. It goes in a staircase pattern. So up, over is what we're looking for. Okay, so pay attention to that as well. So again, ultimately, pretty darn good stuff here from Ethereum Classic. I like what I see. I would just love to see a close above $22. Sorry, $24. I misspoke. $24 is a point in which we want to see the price action close above. That'd be extremely important, very helpful. If it remains below, then that would be, I wouldn't say it's problematic today, because of course today we've seen a lot of price action. I wouldn't expect it to break through that resistance level today, honestly, and it would probably be best if it didn't, so it could retrace and consolidate at $22.50. So ultimately, I would say adding to your position at $22.50 plus or minus a few cents would be an appropriate consideration. Also note that when the price action breaks above $24, we'll likely see a lot more volume and volatility. Okay, it's just kind of roughly what we're looking at, because again, this is a recent point of contention. We can see that was the lowest point in which the price would want to go here recently. Therefore, new resistance, we got to respect that. All right, well, I hope you learned something here today, of course. Hopefully I didn't go too quick. I'm kind of trying to crank out a lot of good content here today for you, so you can kind of stay abreast on certain things. A lot of coins are kind of taking off today. I do recommend, just in general, try not to get super excited, because Bitcoin, even though it might be on its potential way up right now, there's still a limitation that we've got to work within, and there's a good chance we're still going to see some downside, or could see some downside from Bitcoin in the relative near future. It may not be today or tomorrow, but within the next couple of months, I do think we're going to see something in the 20 to 24,000 range. There's a great chance we're going to see that. All right, thanks so much for joining me here again. If you're not currently a community member, join over 200 members active here at this time, and help become yourself a better trader, right? I'd be happy to help work with you there. Of course, I do have discounts for military and third world countries. I think I forgot to mention that. I do appreciate your time once more. Have yourself a great rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.